Joe Biden is a racist.
There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so.
She never recovered from that. She didn't make it through the primary, even though she had the most money. What did you pick up in that moment?
That she was completely unprepared. The information and the facts that I was stating were not very hard to find. A simple online search uncovered them. But the thing that was very telling there was how no one in the mainstream media had ever questioned her on her record, even as she was saying, I will be a prosecutor, president, proud of my record, and how they chose her as the anointed one. Hey, we're going to treat her with kid gloves. We're going to lift her up. We're going to feature her. And then until I came along and just said, hey, this is your record. How do you defend it? And she had no defense because it's a horrible record. The other thing that the president can't shake, and he might want to talk about abortion as much as he wants, but he can't get it past the border. These stats just came in. Bill Malugin was able to pick it up. You think the border's bad? What about the planes? The planes that fly over the border and drop into these cities. Look at these numbers. They're stunning new numbers. 400,000 migrants are flown in the U.S. They fill out an app in their country, and we fly them to various cities. Miami's on top at 91,000, followed by another Florida city in Fort Lauderdale. Thousands of people. They're not telling mayors, they're not telling governors, but we're paying for it. We're paying for it in so many ways. It's not only the impact that it's having on our communities and our cities, it's the demands that many of these illegal immigrants are making when they get here, saying, where is our free housing? Where is our free food? But it further highlights the problem at the border, the Biden-Harris administration's open border policy, where we have millions of people who've come across our borders. They don't know who these people are. They don't know what their intent is in this country. They don't know where to find them because they give them a piece of paper when they come in and say, okay, come and show up in court in a few years. If you really think that they're going to do that, you know, you're very, very naive. They're not, and that's why the president's talking about rounding up 11 million. He writes about it in Time magazine and sending them back. You write, if the president... You're talking about President Trump. President Trump. I think, yeah. President Biden certainly isn't saying that. We're going to find out in 6 months. If anybody wants to find out if you'd be a good VP pick, they can read For the Love of Country. But why should you? You're on everybody's short list. The president talks about you all the time. Why should he pick you? I have the opportunity, given the experience that I've had being a Democrat for over 20 years, leaving the Democratic Party, going into great detail in my book about all of the major reasons why that should be concerning to every single American. Being able to bring over people who maybe aren't Republican or who don't know quite where they belong in a political sense or how they're going to vote is essential for us to be able to stand together as Americans, right, make sure Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are sent home in this election, and come together to do the real work of solving problems both in domestic and foreign policy and get our country back on track. You know your way around Congress. You also know your way around the battlefield.